put your little hand in mine. There ain't no hill or mountain we can't climb. Babe, I got you, babe.
Okay, campers, rise and shine, and don't forget your booties because it's cold out there today. As you may be aware, it's Groundhog Day.
There is a major story developing here in New South Wales relating to coronavirus. We're going to take you straight to Nine's Chris O'Keefe. Chris, what have you learned?
Davina, we can reveal exclusively this afternoon there is a cruise ship off Sydney Heads quite a while away called the Ruby Princess, and there are confirmed cases of coronavirus on board. Now, I'm being told there are significant numbers of people on board that cruise ship who have tested positive. Now, we know that it has a capacity of thousands and thousands of passengers and people.
Then put your little hand in mine. There ain't no hill or mountain we can't climb.
Nuts.
5 new coronavirus cases have been identified on board a cruise ship off the coast of Western Australia. The Artania docked at Fremantle Port a week ago after 2 life-threatening emergencies on board. Most passengers have flown home to Europe, but the ship is refusing to leave.
Good morning. The cruise ship at the centre of Australia's biggest maritime COVID outbreak since the Ruby Princess has docked in Sydney. More than 100 passengers and crew on the Coral Princess have tested positive to COVID, with some barred from leaving the ship today. Evan Batten joins us now. Evan, good morning. What are guests saying about the handling of the outbreak?
Oh, good morning, Anne. Well, there's certainly a lot riding on authorities to get this right. The first cruise ship to dock in Sydney since the Ruby Princess. And we're hearing at this stage that there's been something of an honour system that they've been relying on, asking all passengers to do a rat test. But as far as we're being told by passengers, no one's actually testing to see that they've got a negative result before they've been allowed to get off the Coral Princess.
Back on the water, but it's hardly been smooth sailing for cruise operators, managing consecutive COVID outbreaks as the virus circulates through the community. A blow the $5 billion a year industry is determined to weather, hoping tough safety protocols will keep them afloat.
Lighting up the harbour, the Pacific Explorer passes under the bridge before dawn. A dark end to a holiday cruise for more than 100 on board, COVID confining them to their cabin.
Good evening. The country's COVID wave is escalating after a cruise ship with hundreds of COVID cases on board docked in Sydney. Now the head of Australia's Medical Association is warning our hospitals will crumble under pressure these holidays. In fact, he's so sure he's publicly announced a bet.
The majestic Princess arrives in Sydney greeted by ambulances. Around 800 of the ship's 4,000 passengers and crew have tested positive to COVID.
This is a 12-day voyage and we started to see elevated cases about halfway through.
Several passengers were taken straight to hospital. Most were told to get tested and isolate at home.
I'm 82 and I was a little bit worried, yes.
The experience was lovely on board until we heard that the virus was, on board.
It's the biggest single COVID outbreak since the Ruby Princess more than 2.5 years ago. As other states also record climbing case numbers, in Brisbane today, some shoppers wore masks, most didn't.
I think the COVID may be more and more. People more go shopping.
We've heard there's another wave coming, so we're kind of taking our precaution.
How health services will cope has top doctors worried. The AMA president tweeting, if major public hospitals aren't overwhelmed with patients over the holiday break, I'll donate $1,000 to charity. But a spike in cases is also causing a rise in vaccinations.
Our bookings have quadrupled, so there's a lot of demand, particularly those who have not yet had their booster.